salutaris nostre, Dominex Deus, Ilinex Deus, Ilinex Deus, Deus noster, Micaelae, Dominex Esther, Angeli, Arcangeli, Ave Pateti, Laudamur Deum, Domino mio Maestatis.
How's everybody doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day. It is Monday, December 15th. And yeah, this is what it is, okay? It is the last stream in this office. As many of you guys know, I'm moving away. I'm moving to the Midwest, moving to North Dakota, to Bismarck, and I will be flying out this week, going and building my studio. I'm a little bit sick right now because do not worry, I have, for my little break of 2 or 3 weeks, I've made sure I've went through and recorded a lot of videos for you guys. I've recorded a lot of extra content, so that stuff will be rolling out as I'm gone. I have a St. Thomas Christmas special, Christmas Eve. I have a full life of St. Thomas. I have a lot of good content, but yes, this is, I'm feeling a bit nostalgic right now, guys, because this office right here that I've been streaming in, I've been streaming in here probably for 3 years now, and a lot has changed, right? We went from a very different format to the current format. We've went through a lot of different iterations, tried a lot of different things, but kept to the same core scholastic, goal. That's the goal, right? We want St. Thomas's doctrine. We want the scholastic method to reign supreme in Catholic online spaces. And a lot of people have been introduced to it. A lot of people have kind of piggybacked on the idea and become creators. So now we have an expanded space and, influencing other people. And it's just been fantastic. I feel honestly, guys, to be honest, to get a little bit into my feelings right now, I feel very blessed. Okay. I feel like I have the coolest job in the world. I honestly think that to be able to do what I do is just incredible. I truly feel blessed. I truly feel thankful for every single one of you guys. I didn't know what I was going to do with this stream. I'm just going to kind of interact with the chat, answer some questions, stuff like that. But I just kind of want to start off just by expressing my gratitude that I have for all of you guys. I don't know how we did it. I don't know how we did it. It's just starting off. I had no idea that it was ever gonna get like this. Thought I was going to be perpetual Walmart overnight stalker / DoorDash driver. Delivering pizzas in the rain. But here we are. Here we are. Office is cleaned out. My bluegill, sadly, the one that was here, he's released back to the pond where he grew up, where he was born. So he's grown a lot. He's grown in strength. I assimilated him into the cold. My books are packed up. It's happening. So any future streams are not going to be in this room. They're not going to be in this room. Okay. I don't know what else to say. Honestly, I did not come here prepared with anything. I was considering, it's kind of ironic. I labeled this, I baited some of you guys. I'm sorry for that, but baited it with the last stream. Technically, it is the last stream, and I explained it in everything else, but it's kind of ironic the same day as Voice of Reason releases the last stream, the last video. And his was like, it's my last video in public, but I'm going to do it on Patreon, so it's not in public anymore. So I'm still going to make videos. For me, it's the last stream in this office, but I will be streaming in a different office, okay? Keeping the same schedule. And a lot of exciting things are happening in the future. A lot of exciting things. I hate to plug the end of your fundraiser right now, but we're about halfway through. But halfway through the end of your fundraiser, we're 35% to our goal. It's pretty normal. So usually it ramps up in the last week or so before the goal is met. So end of your fundraiser to do everything else that we're planning on the next year, which I linked in the bio below. But in North Dakota, things are going to be incredible, guys. I'm leaving this week to fly up while my family stays here with family. Flying up this week, completely revamped, new studio, new equipment, guys. So this camera that all of you guys hate, this lighting down there that all of you guys hate, the microphone, which I don't even have anymore. I'm just using a collar mic. So all of you guys hated that. I heard complaints about it all the time. It was, Wagner, your audio sucks. Wagner, your video sucks. Like, okay, but what about the content? Okay, do you guys like the content? That's what I'm worried about. Do you guys like the information? So I will be stepping up to all of the demands that you guys are going to be giving me, that you guys have given me. New mic, new camera, new backgrounds. I will be keeping the fish tank. Do not worry. There will be a fish tank, no matter what, in the background at all times. It will be separated from my house, so you guys do not have to listen to my kids in the backgrounds. You guys complain about that a lot. You're like, "Oh, your kids are in the background." Like, "Oh, sorry." Let me just tell them to shut up real quick. Let me tell the 3-year-old to shut up, okay? But kids in the background, you will not be hearing that anymore. It's going to be Ethernet cable plug-in, so no more Wagner. I fiber optic directly plugged to Ethernet, so I could run 5 different streams and it wouldn't lag. So everything's going to be changing, boys. It's we're not where we were in the beginning. We're in an all new place right now. We're in an all new place, and trust me, it's going further from here. The new setup, guys. We're going to be doing still keep the 3 videos a week. This is what I'm thinking. Give me some feedback in the comment section, in the comments of the video. I'll read all the comments on this. Give me some feedback. This is my idea, okay? So 3 videos a week, 1 live stream, okay? Monday, I think I'll do Monday live stream. Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. I don't know. I'll decide one. 1 monologue style video, monologue with a little bit of B-roll through it, edited out all the weird parts and edited in quotes and B-roll, minor edited monologue type video, 45 minutes, an hour 15, kind of that length. And the 3rd one for the week is going to be one of the sort of highly edited 15-ish minute videos, well-researched, scripted pretty well, everything like that. That's going to be my new schedule. Monday, I'll either do a Q&A, Pope Leo update, something like that. I'm going to keep the Pope Leo series. Maybe a reaction video here and there. I don't know. Maybe I'll get lazy on my Wednesdays and do a reaction video here and there. Interview here and there, stuff like that. Collab. But that's going to be the new schedule. I'm thinking of just honing in on those 3 videos. You guys remember how crazy it was back in the day? I'd be doing like 7, 8, 9 streams a week. I'd be like cracking the whip with UI, my producer. UI, I'd be like, UI, we got to do an edited video plus like 6 streams every week. Got to cover all of our bases. That's what I used to do. That was crazy. I can't believe I did that. But no, I think I want to hone in, make it more reasonable, more realistic, do a little bit more study, research, work on long-term projects. I want to write a book in 2026. That's something I want to do. I want to write a book. I have 2 or 3 different ideas for what topics I want to do. Maybe I'll release those eventually, what topics that I'm thinking of. But some good idea. I want to write a book in 2026. I'm going to focus a lot more on the Substack, a lot more on my writing. People have requested that. They're like, I like your research. I like your writing. I think I will connect that with some of my edited videos where I'll be having, a lot of research, footnotes, outlines, scripts. Stuff like that is a sort of, if you want this written in front of your face and everything like that, I could absolutely do that. Member streams probably will save like more of the review style stuff from member streams. I will restart my my complete course in Thomistic philosophy, Thomistic theology, going over Bill of Art. I got through De Deo Uno and De Deo Trino, and I kind of had to stop when all the moving stuff was happening because that's crazy. Like showings, you guys don't realize if you guys have never sold a house, which most of you probably have never sold a house, it's insane. Okay, you're having viewings all the time. People are just coming through your house. You're just having 10 viewings a week, and you got to leave your house. You can't be there, especially when you got kids. You got to take your kids out. While I'm also trying to do all the streams and videos and stuff, you got to pack up all your stuff, everything you've ever owned. Then you have a gap between the two, moving all. It's just a lot of crazy stuff. So I'm going to enjoy the little bit of a break, although it's not really technically a break. The little bit of a break from streaming. My voice is shot because probably with recording and live streaming last week, I was speaking for like over 10 hours at least last week straight. So my voice is done. But, limping to the finish line, it feels good. It feels good. Most other people, my wife, she was talking to me earlier. She was like, Christian, you streaming tonight? Because we're supposed to go out to dinner. We're going to go out to Charlotte tonight with a friend. Like, Christian, are you streaming tonight? And I'm like, yes. She's like, what? Why are you streaming tonight? You could have just took the night off. You still got these 2 other videos planned for this week. I'm like, everybody else would say, oh, I guess I just won't stream tonight. I guess I'll just lay in bed. I guess I'll just leave early to go out. But, I keep the promises. I keep the promises 3 spots a week, no matter what. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Will not stop, will not falter, will not give up. You guys will always have, no matter what, 3 spots a week. You can take that to the bank. I will always keep up on that. So no, I could not just slack off and limp and then fall on my face, flat on my face before the finish line. I had to limp over. And I know this is not a traditional stream, but I kind of am interested in like feedback and stuff. I am interested in hearing what you guys think about, the future going forward. What do you guys think about the plans? What do you guys think about the new format and everything like that? If you guys are, one of the benefits is if you're a YouTube member or you're a patron, I will be taking some videos of as the construction's going on, just as, kind of like a behind the scenes look, getting feedback. Oh, what do you think about this bookshelf? What do you think about this desk? What do you think about, this fish tank right there? What do you think about the wood? I'm thinking more of a wood look. I know it's kind of gay. The whole like, oh, I'm gonna have wood in the background of my shot. It's gonna be wood, but I don't know. I just kind of like the wood look. Wood, darker, like a lighter sort of color wood, and then dark bookshelf, like a dark, rich wood bookshelf, lighter wood background, and then I need the fish tank somehow. Fish tank. It's gonna look awesome. You know what else would go so hard? I need to get a taxidermied fish. Next time I catch a really, really like trophy size fish, I need to get a taxidermy. That would go so hard in the background like that. So thinking about that as well. But yeah, if you're a patron or you're a member, I'll be posting all of those. But yeah, I'm gonna get to the chat now. I've just kind of, as I said, I just kind of wanted to, give a last shot. In my old office, it's cool to see, my background without all the stuff. It's cool to reminisce. It's cool to, reflect on it and just, despite all of the, the content sort of machine, the slop trough, always filling the content slop trough. Beside all of that, it's really nice to look back and, have gratitude for what you guys have done, and obviously what our Lord Jesus Christ has given me, which obviously in his providence, he has deigned to give me a lot more than what I deserve, infinitely better than I deserve. Mr. Wagner, you're late. I know. I invited to the North Dakota house. We'll bring you soup again. Promise won't spill sauce on your porch this time. Yeah. Okay. So weirdest idea ever. I don't know what you guys will think about this. So this might sound really stupid. I don't know if it'll sound stupid, because I have these ideas and it sounds a little bit too, micro internet niche micro celeb type stuff. I don't like engaging in that. I just don't. I think it gets really weird. I think it gets really toxic. I just don't personally when people approach me and they're, you know, really excited and stuff like that. I get it, but I think it's weird. But this idea, okay, what if it was like a fundraiser one time? What if I did like a raffle and I raffled off like an all expense paid fishing trip, like an ice fishing trip in North Dakota? I fly you out, put you up in a hotel, and we just go ice fishing one day. That sounds like it'd be a fun fundraiser, right? That sounds like I think a lot of people would be interested in that. Like $20 a ticket or something like that. You get entered in, and you get a chance. You can come out. Just my one worry is I get like I hate to sound like this. You get somebody who's like really weird, who like wins, and now I just kind of have a like an awkward ice fishing trip. But I mean, I guess that's the price you pay. That's the risk I take doing a fundraiser like that is I just get somebody really strange. Or I get somebody from, like overseas and I'm like losing money on the fundraiser because I have to pay for like a flight from Uzbekistan or something to Bismarck. That's also the other worry. Maybe I'd have to like cut it off at, only domestic only, or like a ticket price cap or something like that. But that would be fun. But yes, of course, Jerome, you're always invited. Always will have. You can. You know what I'm gonna do? My studio is gonna be very big and it's gonna be heated and air conditioned. So I'll always have a blow up mattress to be able to put in my studio for you to sleep underneath my taxidermy deer heads. Not gonna be in the shop, but it's gonna be like behind me. I'm gonna see my taxidermy deer. Remember, I used to like if you were a real old head, you were listening, 2.5 years ago. I used to have a taxidermy deer behind me because I'm also a hunter, as some of you guys know. Besides my fishing stuff, I also hunt. So I've shot a lot of deer throughout my life, dozens and dozens of deer throughout my life. So I'm a big game hunter. I love it. It's one of my passions besides fishing is hunting. So I'm really excited for the big game in North Dakota. But I used to have a deer back there, and I just don't know how I could fit it in the current shot. That would be really cool to have a deer. Maybe I have a few European mount skulls, so maybe I could do something with that, and that would look kind of cool. Put some like black velvet over it, and have some sort of it would be a cool accent. Have the same like wood color as the bookshelf. Have a piece of wood like that, and then drill in deer antlers. I don't know. It also is like I kind of want to put my personality into it a little bit. That's another thing. Is yeah, there's the aesthetic sense of that looks cool, but I want them. I want them to look at the background and not be a LARP. Let's be like that is what I do in my free time. That's what I do in my free time. I'm not wearing flannel as a LARPer when I have a deer in my background. That's just like me. That's just what I grew up doing. That's what I love doing. It's not normal like you would expect that I'd be a little bit more hickish if you meant a little bit more hickish. But I'm not. But I just like it because that's what my family does. And I've always enjoyed it. So yes, Jerome, you're always welcome, of course. Thank you, Upper Roommates. Great name, by the way, Upper Roommates. I love the name. Also, I will get the Palmarian interview 2026. Yeah, that's another awesome arc that I want to continue because I feel like a lot of people are very interested by that, and it's kind of cool content. Interviewing like weird, kind of schizo. Not to say everybody I interviewed was a schizo. Bishop Williamson, for example, he was awesome. I love Bishop Williamson. God rest his soul. But interviewing kind of like niche, far, like out there type figures in traditional Catholicism, I really like that stuff. I really like, hearing from, and not just hearing. A lot of people, they want to do the thing where they'll interview them and interview them about all their controversial opinions. I don't like doing that. I like interviewing about their background, their life, their childhood. I just like kind of getting in their mind because it's really weird to be somebody like that. It's really weird to think of yourself as the Pope. And oftentimes when you see interviews like that, it's almost like the person is like a circus clown. They're treated like a circus clown for the entertainment of the audience. But I don't really like that. I like them being treated like a human being with dignity, a human being, who has been, made in the image of God. They've reached this position through a process of reasoning that makes sense to them. And I would like to hear what that process of reasoning is. Not because not because I'm ever going to agree with them, but just to kind of sympathize with them as understanding how they're just not complete loons. I like that stuff. So I would like to interview Palmarians. I don't know who else in the circles I'd like to interview. But yeah, I do definitely like that, especially when they seem to be at least externally in good faith, which I think that Bishop Williamson was in good faith. Pope Michael the First, I think he was in good faith. Michael the Second, I have mixed feelings on him. I think he was just kind of a really strange guy. So yes, Palmarian interview would just be so awesome. Which day is your James White sermon review? That would be a cool stream. Like that'd be a cool like patron member stream, So what I'm thinking of doing in the future, what I might do is I might just have like with member streams, I might just stream them, live to everybody. Kind of like if anybody wants to watch and show up at that time, like I don't want it to be a barrier to them, but I'll have like the video on demand, so be able to go and watch back and listen non-live. I'll just like put it behind a paywall after it's done being live. So it gives a choice in case somebody's like really really interested in the topic and they still want to watch it. They might not be able to afford to become a member. They just don't want to become a member. So I might do that for my member streams. Okay, so watch the Consensus of Fathers video. With the virtual condemnation of instruments in Mass from the Fathers fall under common opinion that can change. Okay, so the condemnations of instruments in Mass. That's a fun one. I really only know about the comments from St. Thomas, obviously, St. Bernard, St. Augustine, and St. Athanasius, I think are like the big four that I know about. I just don't know what the degree of consensus would be on this. So I'm sorry, I can't really give you much insight. Apologies. Remember us when you make it big. Thank you, Chud. Fishing stream when? Are you? I'm coming late. Are you leaving YouTube? If so, I'm joining the apostolate. Yeah. So anybody, all my haters, all the haters, all the haters and the losers. That's a joke. That's a Trumpian thing. Okay. Just to get, I'll get, especially this sort of content will draw a certain beloved in my heart group of people who do not understand sarcasm. Maybe they're a little bit on the spectrum. They don't really understand sarcasm too well. So I'll say stuff like that, like my haters and losers, and they'll think that I'm actually being serious. No, I'm just joking. But yes, my haters, if they want me to leave, then yeah, they can donate to the end of year fundraiser. That'd be crazy, Mark. It's like if I hit X on the end of year fundraiser, I'll leave YouTube for the year. It's like holding me hostage for the end of year fundraiser. That'd be crazy. I become a butcher. That's the dream job right there. By the way, because guys, let's be honest, I don't want to be like Jay Dyer. I don't want to be streaming in my 40s. Okay, I think that there's obviously a time limit to this stuff. Eventually, I'll stop the 3 videos a week. I'll do like 1 video a week, maybe 2 or 3 a month. Have somebody else in charge of everything. Dealing with editing and marketing and fundraising and all of that stuff. I'll kind of just release 1 video. I'll write the script. I'll record it. That's about it. I kind of want to step back from that. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, there is a time limit to this stuff, and I think that a lot of people forget that. A lot of people with careers in content creation, they will just go and try to make it go forever. And it's like once you hit a certain point, you just got to switch off. There's times for everything. And that time eventually runs out. So you always got to innovate. You got to realize that you got to be growing and living, and you can't just stream for 40 years. That's just not how it works. So the dream job is one day I will be a butcher. I will open a butcher shop in Bismarck. That'll be so awesome because I do enjoy the culinary arts. I enjoy hunting. I enjoy the culinary arts. I enjoy stuff like that. So I think I'd make a good butcher. I've butchered a lot of deer in my life. The process is not that difficult. I've cooked a lot of meat in my life. I do like the culinary aspect to it as well. But I never would want to work in a kitchen or anything like that. Restaurant, screw that. But I could put my culinary creativity into being a butcher because they sell meat products as well. So that's the dream right there. Well, when I retire from streaming, I will be a butcher and I will release one video a week, and the rest of the time I will be happily butchering deer and cows and everything else. Fishing stream when? I've thrown around the idea. The big difficulty is more so a logistical difficulty. Like I could do a fishing stream easily, but one, there's a logistical difficulty going through StreamYard while in the areas in which I fish where the connection's not too well. I'd have to get like one of those portable Starlink things. I could do that, and maybe that would be fine. Maybe I need to buy one of those for my overseas travels when I'm, like recording in North Africa. If I wanted to stream in North Africa in a place that's not in a city like I did last time, I would need, one of those portable Starlinks, and then, a shirt mic, and you can use your phone for a camera. Most of it's one, logistical, and two, when I'm fishing, I got to have a 6-pack of beers. When I'm fishing, I'm drinking. And I don't want to be one of those guys who are just like drinking and streaming. I've done it before. I've had like a beer or two on stream. It's happened before. But I just don't want to be demolishing a 6-pack while I'm streaming. That's recipe for disaster. Recipe for disaster. I could say something that would just be horrific. Say something absolutely horrific, make a bad joke or something like that, and just ruin everything. Although I think if anything ever leaked of me saying something really bad, I have a feeling that, every single time I'd be saying it as a joke. I would never apologize. That's the thing. You can't apologize. I've apologized for stuff in the past where I think I was genuinely wrong on it. If I'm just saying a joke and it's just a bad joke and just lands badly and everybody's calling, Wagner must be canceled. He said this or he said that. I just wouldn't apologize. I just kind of move forward. And I feel like most of you guys just kind of wouldn't care. It would be the people who already don't like me that would care. So it's like, who cares what they say? So yeah, no, I've thought about a fishing stream before. Maybe I'd make a fishing video. Okay. Maybe make a video. I just wear like a camera the whole time and, capture the videotape, pay somebody to edit it. It'd be a fun little video of, a fishing trip. I know it wouldn't be, like super big content or anything like that, but I think you guys would enjoy it. Maybe that'd be a good like membership thing, is put it out for members, and they could as a little bit of perk, a little bit of a thank you for their contribution. Do you submit to Pope Michael II or the Diamond's rights, i.e., there's no Pope Sedevacante? I'm neither a Sedevacantist nor a conclavist, so no. Have you heard of St. Michael's Cave in Italy? I have not. I've not at all. If you ever want to go on an elk hunt, I live just inside Montana, 2 hours from Bismarck. We have a piece out in the Badlands. I could take you. Dude, email me, okay? Because I don't know how the elk tags are in Montana, whether they're super hard, but email me, militantthomas@gmail.com. I will get back to you. That would be really cool. I've never been elk hunting before. I don't know the basics of, because you guys know how it is. If you've ever been hunting before, you know that when you move on to a new game, like you're going rabbit hunting for the first time or turkey hunting for the first time, you kind of got to have a guy there with you who already has done it for a while and knows the ins and outs. It can show you, what to do, what not to do, where to go, where not to go. It's really hard to actually if you guys are ever interested in hunting or getting into any sort of game, it's actually pretty difficult to start out without any sort of older brother, father figure there to, that not to make it sound weird, but just like most people, they find out from their uncles, their older brother, their dad, how to go hunting. You kind of need somebody in that, in that position to help you out. But yeah, that would be awesome. Let me know. Had a very interesting email back and forth with Father Thomas Joseph Boyd on Extra Ecclesia Universalis. He also sent me an unreleased essay of his on the topic. Would love to chat about it. Cool. You have my number. You can text me. I'm just sorry if anybody tries to message me at this point. I've been really busy for the, today. I just spent all day moving stuff. Like, I just don't have really much time to talk. Interview with William Tapley, Third Eagle Wen. Dude, William Tapley is based. I love William Tapley. I hear that you're planning on visiting Franciscan for Juventutem next semester. Am I? I don't know. I've been invited to a few things, and basically, if it seems like a legit thing, I'll tell them, hey, reach back out to me in January. So I will be taking quite a few trips this year. A few out of the country. I think for now about 5 inside domestic trips. I have a few planned out already, but I probably did agree to that, forgot about it, and told them to just email me back in January. And that's why I told them to email me back in January, because I always forget about stuff. But always love being in Steubenville. I'll probably be there at least twice this year. So love Steubenville. Okay, let me see. Honest feelings on Hassan. Love to hear him. Yeah, William Tapley is so great. Now that you're making your way to North Dakota, if you get the time, you got to visit Broomtree in the south side of South Dakota. For you, it would probably be around 7 hours, but hey, Broomtree. What is Broomtree? Dude, Midwesterners, it's crazy. When you talk to a Midwesterner, and I hate to cook on you, Mr. Uncle Samuel. I hate to cook on you. But you talk to a Midwesterner, everybody knows this. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to drive. It's a quick drive. It's an easy drive. It'll be like 11 hours. Like, oh, just take the drive. It's like, okay, I could just fly and make the flight in like an hour and a half. Why would I drive? They're like, oh, it's just make the drive. Just not that far. For them, it's like, unless it's legitimately like 20 hours away, they're probably just going to drive. It's crazy. So for me, it's like, oh man, I got to drive 7 hours back home to my parents in Maryland. Like 7 hours, that's not that much. But yeah, this is classic W Midwest vibes. I love it. Love to hear it. Patrick's breastplate, thank you. Will you ever visit us peasants in Central Europe? Yeah, so one of my trips this year, I'll be having kind of like a 3-legged trip with Tavnet and for some other related Scholastic Answers stuff. I'll be having a trip to the UK and then Germany and then Italy. So Germany, I guess that counts as Central Europe. So 3-legged trip. I'm going to make it all in one because I hate flying over. Guys, flying over the Atlantic is rage-inducing. It's absolutely rage-inducing. I hate it. It's like one of those things. It's like you're sitting there considering, you're thinking, you're like, okay, I have this possibility to spend, let's have a $600 ticket, $700 ticket. If it's an off season and you're in economy, $600-700 ticket, that's pretty realistic to some places. So you could say, I could have this $600-700 ticket, or I could have much more comfort as I fly over the span of this like 8 hours, but it's like $3,000. You're asking the question, it's like, am I really going to spend, like over $100 an hour? That's round trip prices. Spend over $100 an hour just for more comfort. So some people say it's worth it. Some people say it isn't. Last time I did it, I just did it in economy. So I probably will go in economy going forward. And that's like a form of penance right there, right? It's a form of penance. It's like our Lord speaking to the apostles and telling them, bring your staff and sandals, travel simply. And even when there's the pain of sitting in economy for a overseas trip, you just got to suffer it, because any money you're giving to the airline, that's money that could be spent on, furthering the cause. So anybody who's ever taken an overseas trip can confirm it's rage inducing how awful it is. Wagner, what's your social security number? Good question. Good question. Father Coughlin's awesome. I'm not going. No, I'm not. No, I'm not going any more east than Germany. Okay, 6'7". You guys are funny. Are we COD maxing soon? I don't know. Okay. Is it a penance to watch the Lila Rose dating stream? Guys, you could not all of the money in the world could not convince me to watch the Lila Rose dating stream. And it's funny because Franco's on there, and as you guys know, I'm really friendly with Franco. I like Franco. Franco, to me, we've been on stream, we've met in person before. He's called me before, we've talked over the phone. I like Franco as a guy. I really do like Franco, but the Lila Rose streams, dude, come on. I do get it. I understand. You're a creator in that sphere. It's awesome to, to collaborate with other people. That's just necessary for that sphere. But dude, sometimes you just gotta shoot yourself in the foot. I honestly, I would rather shoot myself in the foot than be in that room. Sometimes you just got to shoot yourself in the foot just to make it. It's pain, pure pain. But yeah, no hate towards Franco. I will not allow Franco hate in my live chat. Okay. Okay. So what would be the principle by which we discern between true and false monuments of traditions? I mean, there really is no such thing as a false monument of tradition. We're just talking about a monument of tradition. We just mean something that is concretely reflecting what is being passed down, during that time. And there can be false traditions. There can be true traditions. There can be things within the sphere of within the stream of tradition, outside of the stream of tradition. So yeah, I mean, there's no like false and true. It's like it's always reflecting something which is being passed down during the time. So I don't know. Maybe if you explain what you exactly meant by that a little bit more, then I could give you a better answer. If you had to go back in time to stop either the Bolshevik Revolution or the French Revolution, which one would you and why? It's actually a very good question. I don't think I would stop either of them. I'm a true believer in the fact that history happens in the way it does for a reason, in accordance with the providential designs of God. And I would be very, very scared to change one of those dominoes. I'd be very scared to. So really neither. But if I had to choose one, I would probably do probably the French Revolution. The Bolshevik Revolution, in my opinion, Russia was already screwed for a pretty long time at that point. So eventually, there was imminent collapse, no matter what. The Bolsheviks just happened to be, one amongst the groups. I think France would have been redeemable and would have been able to continue on. That ends. No, but Napoleon's just so cool. No French Revolution, no Napoleon Bonaparte. I know Napoleon, he was horrible towards the church, but he's just awesome. Like Napoleon is just such a cool guy. Like I love the Napoleon movie, the recent movie that came out. Because yeah, the stuff about him being a simp, a massive simp towards Josephine, that is an L. That's a huge L. But it's just so incredible to see somebody who is just the elite, the world history elite at what he does. That makes him different from a lot of the other like dictators. Is Napoleon, like the reason I like him isn't because he was, a good administrator or he helped France or anything like that, but just because he was just an absolute genius in military technique, in his just incredible victories, taking basically a France which was in free fall and saving it militarily. Just the tactical complexity, the just the win after win after win. No, the story of his comeback from Saint Helena. I just love Napoleon. Okay. Anyways, so French Revolution would get rid of one of my favorite. Well, not one of my favorites. Like, I think he was a good guy. I think he was pretty terrible. But one of my people that I have most respect and interest in throughout the history of the world. One is the Lila Rose collab. Never. Uh, Lila Rose going to Daily Wire. I don't know about that. I've heard about somebody else going to Daily Wire, but so I actually heard about the I heard about the Matt Fradd going to Daily Wire thing ahead of time. And I don't want to be that guy, to leak it, to tell a bunch of people about it or anything like that. So I kept it under wraps. I kept it quiet. But I've heard about somebody else going to Daily Wire as well in the Catholic sphere. I don't know whether it's true or not. We'll see. But that one would not surprise me. Wagner, can you recommend one of your videos to listen to as I fall asleep? Well, I would recommend the 10-hour Diamond Brothers intro song mix. I think that one's a really good one for sure. Oh, it's a retreat center. Okay. Best donut flavor, and are they better warm or cold? Ooh, this is a good question. I would say I am an apple fritter guy. I do like apple fritters. Huge apple fritter fan. I like apple cider donuts as well. Those are like fall choices, but really, I think a maple glaze. Just maple glaze is always good. Sometimes actually having the bacon on the maple glaze. Sometimes I'll do like the bacon maple glaze. That's too much. You just gotta. I'm the type of guy. I'm a purist. Okay, when I have a steak, for example, I steak, salt, pepper. It's very good. Maybe a cream sauce, maybe a pan sauce, something like that. You just can't go too crazy with it. Maybe you just need the basic flavors of salt, of smoke, of the meatiness, of the proper amount of fattiness to make it not dry. The texture being proper and not being overly tough or anything like that. You got to nail if you nail the basics, if you nail the fundamental elements to something, it's good. Okay, you don't need to go crazy. You don't need to go crazy trying to. That's a very millennial coded thing. Millennials try to go crazy and make all these wacky. They get a burger and they're like the peanut butter and jelly burger. They'll have they'll have just you'll go to this like burger place and there'll be like 40 different types of burgers on there, and half of them they've probably been ordered like once in the last month. Just nail the basics, okay? A quality bun, toasted well, quality meat, quality cheese, okay? 2 or 3 toppings, a good burger sauce. You just gotta nail the basics, okay? Just don't go hog wild about it. So that's my philosophy behind a lot of things. Just do the basics and do them well. And if you execute them properly, it's going to be good food and people are going to like it. It's not really going to be an acquired taste. It's not really going to be something that you'll get a lot of complaints about. There'll be broad support behind it. So maple, definitely one of my favorites. Normal glazed as well. And hot or cold? Cold. Cold for sure. What is your favorite argument for the real presence of the Eucharist? The Bible. Thank you. Okay. Why are people talking about their urination in the live chat? I don't like that stuff. I think that's gross. I think that's yucky. It's very yucky. Okay, so I spoke to a French Catholic while in Austria. He does not like the Napoleon movie for the many inaccuracies. Okay, that's just being a snob. That's just being a snob. Being a big snob. I don't like that. Sprinkles or no sprinkles. RZ reply video when? Don't know. Don't know. As you guys know, it's like worst timing ever. I was like, I actually wrote a lot of the script on a few of the issues, and I lined up people to collaborate on a few of the different issues, and I put a big pause in it. So we'll see when or if I get back to that. I just don't know. I think that maybe what I would do is go to what I think are like the most interesting points that he brings up and reply to those is like giving new material of points that people don't already bring up. I don't know what I kind of put that on the mental back burner while I've been trying to keep batten down the hatches with my 3 videos a week, keep the basics going, while I move. Okay, so have I tried In-N-Out and Whataburger? In-N-Out, I've not tried In-N-Out. Okay, that's West Coast coded. West Coast stuff sucks all the time. I hate West Coast stuff. You get like their In-N-Out burger, you get the Habit Burger and Grill. It's just like go back, hippies. Okay, go back west. I hate the West Coast. West Coast sucks. Culver's awesome. East Coast stuff, classic East Coast stuff is awesome. Wendy's good. But Whataburger, huge fan of Whataburger. Whataburger's great. I've just opened up a Whataburger near me, near where I am in North Carolina, and I was very unsure about it. And then I tried it, and it was just excellent. And I went 2 or 3 other times, but now it's Advent, so unfortunately, I would not be doing any more Whataburger eating probably for a very long time. Um, okay. Do you intend to branch out into topics you don't normally cover in the future? Maybe. I don't know. A lot of my topic choices are kind of based on whatever I'm reading about, just whatever and maybe sometimes I'll do like the desperation thing where it's like, oh, I haven't been reading about anything interesting. So I got to pull something out of the hat of stuff that I already know about. I already had notes about and stuff like that. Sometimes you do that. Sometimes it's responding to whatever's, currently being talked about. And I think that I could give some sort of unique take about it. But yeah, I've never really been super interested in the papacy stuff. A lot of you guys are like super into it. You're reading about all the history about the papacy stuff. I've just never been super into that. Like the biblical stuff is cool to me. The biblical stuff is definitely really cool to me, and I'm super interested in that. But like the just getting super into the minutia of the history, it just does. It seems very vain to me. Like when I'll give you an example. Like when I read about justification and I read about the sacraments or I read about prayer or anything like that. Like this is I'm super into it. It's really helping me out. Like I'm learning new stuff about the spiritual life, making connections with other doctrines. I'm learning, how to love God more. I'm learning what Christ did more. It's super cool, super interesting to me. But it feels like if I were to like get into the super big minutia of the papacy and the history of the papacy and stuff like that, it would there's kind of it wouldn't have the benefit that I think it would be. I mean, God bless those, like Eric Ybarra and stuff who are into that and who, they take upon themselves the penance of reading all of that stuff and responding to all the different objections, historical objections and stuff like that. But me personally, I've made a few exceptions before, like Pope Saint Zosimus, because of the high regard in which I have for Saint Augustine, my interest in the Pelagian controversy. But beside that, not really that much. Bro, it's so over, dude. Thoughts on Eric McCabe's latest antics? I don't know. What has he been doing? Get his ass like, thoughts? Question mark? Thoughts? Come on, bust down. No, California sucks. Yeah, this is another topic that I haven't really dove super deeply into beside, reading a few interesting articles and think pieces on it. It's really like I've kind of come to realize that when it comes to the question of does the SSPX fulfill the Sunday obligation, it's just a question so deeply ingrained, or so deeply connected with canon law. I'm not a canon lawyer. Canon law is a highly specialized field that requires somebody to go through a lot of training in order to understand the principles of canon law, how they're applied in unique circumstances, and that's very specialist knowledge to me. So, no, I just don't feel super comfortable with giving my take on it. I don't think I would be able to add anything to the conversation, or I have my opinion on it. I just don't think it'd be responsible for me to insist on any one point. How do I teach my brain rotted students the 5 ways? I have to unbrain rot them for. Okay, who's your favorite pope? I don't know. They're all awesome. Oh, I actually skipped your super chat. Oops. Oopsies. Is creation a natural or supernatural grace? Why? How could creation be natural? How could creation be supernatural? It's natural. It's of the natural order. What is St. Thomas's name? Okay. Yeah, troll. You're fun, Kevin. You're funny. You're a funny guy, Kevin. You're a funny guy. Thank you for the super chat, American Mind. I appreciate it. Burger King or McDonald's guy? McDonald's. Burger King. Okay, so Burger King, it's surprisingly the big fish or fish sandwich. It's very good. It's a very good fish sandwich. It's a quality fish sandwich. But when it comes to burgers and also chicken sandwiches, McDonald's just destroys Burger King, and fries too. Like the onion rings are kind of like a cool novelty, but they're very rarely executed very well. So definitely, absolutely speaking, absolutely McDonald's. Not a fan of the burgers. Have I been to the Vatican? No. So this will actually be my first time going to Rome this year. Very excited for it. I don't know. Maybe I'll make a video or something. Culver's or Whataburger? Ooh, that's a rough one. Because I do like. I'm a huge fan of the cheese curds. Okay, so Culver's, like, they got on the cheese curds, but I'm sorry guys, the Culver burgers are not that good. They're just not. They're not good. But the Whataburger burgers, they are pretty. They're pretty delicious. Okay. Okay, guys. Dude, come on, dude, come on. Are you leaving because Bishop Martin is banning altar rails in Charlotte and Norms coming out Wednesday? Dude, no, I'm not moving because of that. I'm not. Okay. I I don't know who would okay. I don't know who would be moving halfway across the country, moving out of the diocese just because of like altar rails being banned. She's like, I really don't like the liturgical choice. Let me take my kids out of school. Let me get a new job. Let me buy a new house. Let me sell my house. If you're doing that, guys, unless it's like there's obviously like some very, very serious situations where there's within 2 hours of you all of it insane liturgical abuse, and you need to find a new parish that is good. But something like banning altar rails, if you're moving because of that, you need to get help. Okay, I am totally do not understand why somebody would do that. Okay, the milkman. Okay, the best way to unbrain rot is to just sit and do nothing for an hour. Sit in complete silence, no phone, no book, nothing. Just sit there for an hour every single day. It's the best way to unbrain rot, bar none. Well, it's okay. The reason it tastes like a home grilled burger is because you're used to stuff being cooked over propane. Like you're used to frozen burgers being cooked over propane, and that's basically what a flame grilled burger from Burger King is. It's a frozen burger cooked out under propane, like natural gas. That's what it is. You got to cook on a flat top, okay, or charcoal, flat top or charcoal. I'm just not a gas grill kind of guy. The propane doesn't do it for me. Absolutely not. Favorite Ben Shapiro destroying the libs moment? I'm kind of feeling nostalgic for that. I remember back in, like 2015, 2016, looking up on YouTube Ben Shapiro libs destroyed clips and watching and be like, oh, this is so awesome. This is so great. This is so awesome. Yeah, I went through the phase. Don't worry. All of us did. That'd be crazy nostalgia to go back and watch Ben Shapiro destroying libs clips. That would be so awesome. Oh my goodness, diabetes. Okay, this guy sucks. Banned. Okay, this guy sucks. You guys have diabetes. Are you like Americans? Okay, you're not that funny. Can you please answer Since 33's question? Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Dude, when people are just out there like counter signaling Americans, be like, oh, Americans are fat, you got diabetes, blah, 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 blah. Just these foreigners making fun of America. It's like, oh, really? So you hate America so much, so you wouldn't want to live here ever, would you? It's like, oh no, I'm trying to get my green card. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. That's why you simmer down. Simmer down, buddy. You does all your defense, America. Who, for better or for worse, where do all of you take your cultural cues from? America. We're the cultural leader in the world, the leader in everything in the world, financial, defense. We're the world's pirates roaming the seas with our navy that could be defeated by nobody ever. We're the world's pirates. If we wanted to steal everything you own, we could do it. We could seize everything, blow you to smithereens, destroy any country in the world. The reason we don't do it is because we're benevolent. So no counter signaling Americans. We're America. Thoughts on Geometry Dash? Dude, that's a flash from the past. Starting a theology channel in Spanish. Any recommendations? Oh, good question. My number one recommendation is to either learn how to do a lot of the technical aspects yourself well, or to just hire somebody to do them. Like things like editing, thumbnails, the basics. Because that's a mistake I made in the beginning of my channel, is none of it was really super polished. I was kind of just, throwing stuff out there. And I had this idea that I'd be able to be the most effective if I just gave really good content, and then people would just be attracted by the content, and the technical stuff wouldn't matter. I wouldn't need to make thumbnails that were decent, or titles that were decent, or editing that was decent. I'd just be able to throw stuff out there and people would enjoy it because it's good content. But unfortunately, that's just not the case. It's just not how it works. You need to kind of be able to, you want to get your message out. Like, I'm an ideologue. I want my message to get out. So if you want to be able to get your message out, yes, do good quality in your message. Don't just like have absolute slop and then, attract people to the slop. You just make sure you just get professionals to do it, or learn how to do it yourself with a lot of the technical stuff. So yeah, learn script writing. Script writing is very important. It's a skill which I lack in for sure. Culver's burgers are amazing. Yeah, if you don't have taste buds, maybe. If you completely lack taste buds and you're used to the Midwest mom slop. If you're used to like the Midwest mom slop goes crazy. You're used to eating like they'll make like the meatballs, like they'll get the frozen meatballs and put like Coca-Cola and Sprite in it. Like, oh, my Coca-Cola and Sprite meatballs at the potluck. Dog. If you're used to that, maybe Culver's burgers are really good, but I'm not used to that. So no, I don't think they're good at all. Okay, so when it comes to when it comes to the curse one, yeah, Does it apply only to those who imitate their ancestors? If so, wouldn't that same principle apply to all humanity, or is there a distinction of sorts? Yeah. So two things to say to this. One, as Saint Thomas says, the curse is set on the descendants because of the imitation that they have of their ancestors, not through some sort of like intrinsic form, like original sin, which is being passed down from parent to child. But two, we also have to remember that individuals, we're not thinking of this when we make that judgment. We're not thinking of this purely in terms of individuals as individuals. Like we in Catholic philosophy, we think of people as essentially related to the people groups in which they exist, were raised, were reared, in which they belong as their extended family. So yeah, there is in that way. We can speak of the group of people in a quasi collective sense, and really, when we're talking about people who are not imitating, we're talking about the exception rather than the rule, if that makes sense. But yeah, it would apply to other people as well, which is why in sacred scripture we have a lot of these different curses which are spoken of parents on their descendants who are acting evilly. Oh man, I need to catch up on these chats. Does having a conversation with my wife make my brain rot better or worse? I'm not sure on this one. You talk to women? Come on now, dude. You talk to women. Rough. Rough. Can you just imagine you're sitting down after a long day and you're like, man, I really wish I could talk to a woman right now. No, you just put on your headphones, hop in VC and talk with your boys. You want to hear about the social relations of everybody within your wife's friend group. Is that what you want to hear about after a long day at work? You think that's going to heal your brain rot? You talk with your friends after a long day at work, okay? Can Catholics believe in postmillennialism? Sure, as long as you're not so optimistic as not to believe in the falling away that happens immediately before the second coming of Christ. As an Anglican convert, would you say there's a substantial difference between Caroline Divines and the Tractarians in some positions, i.e., the Eucharist? That's a good question. I don't think I ever really fully made up my mind. I don't think I ever really fully made up my mind of whether the Tractarians, the OG Tractarians, not like, as basically like 1930s sort of era, not post Newman conversion where a lot of them went like kind of like by Anglican standards insane and were basically just papists, non-communion with the Pope, or Orthodox non-communion with Constantinople sort of idea. But like the OG guys, like the original tracts before Tract 90, obviously. Like, do I think that they were actually substantial continuity with the Caroline Divines? I feel like the position that I came to was yes. The OG guys. I think that a lot of their reputation is sullied from what happens, after the conversion of Newman, after the writing of Tract 90. I think that a lot of things changed within the Anglo-Catholic world. Dude, fries are so lame at McDonald's. Shut up. Shut up. Do you recycle? No. Dude, I think recycling's gay. Filipino? Okay, man, I need to skip a lot of this stuff. I'm get too many. I need to finish this up quick. So I got to go to dinner. I'm going to dinner tonight in Charlotte. It's going to be so awesome. A night in Charlotte. My last night in Charlotte. I had a lot of nice nights in Charlotte. You go fishing, catch a nice fish, catch some nice fish. Then you just drive up to Charlotte, just tear it up, do a little bar hopping. It's awesome. Freaking love going to Charlotte. That's the thing is, I actually, I was listening to the Richard Spencer Nick Fuentes interview, And he talked about like I like living in a city. He said I like living in a multicultural city, which is like okay, not really. I mean, that part is kind of like I would never take my wife, outside of tonight. I've never taken my wife to Charlotte. And now that I'm taking her, I'm making sure I'm going to a place where I'm going to a place with a parking lot where I can park immediately outside of and only be outside in the open air for like 10 seconds at a time. But like I would never, like walk the streets of Charlotte like I did, with my family. But I do like the amenities of a city. It is really cool. Because that really resonated with me. As somebody who grew up in a very rural area, I grew up in a town with like 3,000 people. Somebody who grew up in a very rural area, I do like the city. I do like the city. It's cool. Yeah, I did roast all the moms from the Midwest. I did. Sorry, guys. I'm reading dogmatic theology manuals, but quickly forget what they say when I try to remember and quiz myself tips. Well, I mean, what you should be doing is just writing outlines rather than trying to like quiz yourself with flashcards. Just write outlines, and don't stress over not remembering everything when you read. Really, it's kind of like learning a language. Is the worst way of trying to learn a language is trying to like drill with flashcards. You really learn things by reading it a lot and kind of getting the sense and context, and you're able to have recall of the words when you hear them. Ever eat a straight bowl of ground beef? Review. Yeah, I got cooked. I'm sorry, dude. I'm just having fun. We're just having fun, okay? We're just having fun. We're just having fun. Ever eat a straight bowl of ground beef? Review. Yes, I actually have. When I was in college, to save money so I could read more and I didn't have to get a job, I would buy one of those big. This was pre-pandemic. Yeah, it was pre-pandemic. It was pre-pandemic. I would get like this massive 10-pound roll of ground beef and I would just cook it up. And that's what I would eat all the time. Just get some sour cream, get some cheese. That's basically all I ate freshman year. Lost crazy amount of weight during freshman year. Just destroying stray bowls of ground beef just so I wouldn't have to get a job, just so I could read more. So I would like study Greek probably like 2.5 hours a day. That's how hard. That's just like the pace is breakneck when you're going through Greek. The type of stuff they put us through. It wasn't like your high school Spanish class, buddy. It was rough. So yes, I have. Honestly, good struggle meal. It's a very good struggle meal. If I had to go back, I'd probably add on some rice to it, balance it out a little bit. But no, I had ground beef, taco seasoning, cheese, and sour cream. It's basically what I ate. Adrian, explain my wife's friend group. Okay, Adrian, please do that. Best pasta shape and sauce combo. Ooh, okay, this is a good question. I'm just gonna be honest with you, dude. I'm a fettuccine alfredo fan. Just like keep it that's what I love so much about like good food is simplicity. Okay, so the good fettuccine alfredo. I'm not skilled enough to do it in the traditional way, which is just butter, Parmesan cheese, and then obviously like garlic and black pepper. But really, all you need for a good Parmesan cheese is you cook your fettuccine, obviously, and your Alfredo sauce. Not good Parmesan cheese, but good Alfredo sauce. You just butter, and then you just put in fresh garlic. Don't use garlic, okay? Just be a man. Cut your own garlic, peel your own garlic, okay? Just garlic, and make sure you right before you put in the cream, freshly crack your black pepper into there, and then you get it toasted for about 10 to 15 seconds. And also your Italian seasoning blend, your herbal blend in there, your Italian herb blend. Just toast that for like 5 seconds. Trust me. Toasting your herbs and spices for just a few seconds before you put in whatever your liquid stock is going to be, and whatever sauce or gravy or whatever. It changes things. It does actually make it better. It brings out the flavors, a little bit of toastiness. So you just throw in the cream sauce, let it kind of warm up a little bit, and you just start slowly adding your Parmesan cheese. And if you're using high quality ingredients and you're using right proportions and you're making sure you're seasoning it properly, it's just a good dish. It's easy to make. It's not that difficult, and it always turns out well. So that's just the type of food that I really do enjoy making. Um, I don't like all the weird stuff. Can I deny a future antichrist? No. Women make men gay. This is true. Dude, mentally psyching yourself up to have a conversation with your wife. True. How do I red pill my parents? Well, first you got to go. First, you got to pick up the Europa movie, and then you set up what is that website? It's on like BitChute. You got to set up the BitChute, and you got to be like, "Mom, Dad, you gotta listen to this. You got to understand this about the Bolsheviks. You gotta understand, guys." And then you do the greatest story never told, and another one. Go to archive.org, show it to them, and trust me, they will it will just blow their minds. They will just on the spot. They'll be red pilled. Trust the plan. Farm smells, dude. Who cares about farm smells? Grow up, grow up. I grew up next to a farm. Okay, grew up next to two farms actually. There was my house. There was 27 in front of me. My house, and there's a house next to ours, and then farm behind us, next to us, and across from 27, there was another farm. So there's a pond out back. I used to go bass fishing all the time there. It was just such a great pond. There was woods there, but across the field hunting was a lot better than the woods behind the house. A lot of deer around there. I miss it. I actually got one of my biggest bucks was in the backyard of my house. It's crazy illegal, so I hope there's like a statute of limitations on this that have ran out. But one time I was at home and staying with my parents, and this was right after my wife had given birth to our child. I go for Thanksgiving because it's hunting season. And my dad, he calls me on the phone. It's that Monday morning, so I'm about to pack up and leave. And my dad had to go to work. He calls me up. He's like, "Boy," he had a trail camera back there. I was connected to his phone. He's like, "There's a buck on the trail camera." And I didn't go hunting that morning because I already shot a buck that weekend, and I was like, I don't feel like it. But I got my extra buck stamp anyways, so I didn't do this illegally. Kind of part of it is illegal, but I won't reveal that. Well, yeah, whatever. So the deer was behind there, and from the upper window in my parents' house, like I could see the deer. This is the illegal part. Technically, you're not supposed to be really that close to a house when you fire off when you're hunting, but it's whatever. So people shoot squirrels from their windows all the time. Well, like let's grow up here. Stupid rule. So nice big buck out there, about 200 yards away. I could see it from the upper window. I had my 30-06. I shot it. Front shoulder shot down. No running, no nothing. And my wife and son were sleeping in the room next to me. They stayed asleep through the gunshot, through a high-powered rifle being shot in the room next to them. It's like how do you stay asleep when somebody fires off a gun right next to you? I don't get it. But I had to drag that because my wife was postpartum. I had to drag that deer. I think it ended up being dressed like 165. Had to drag that deer all the way to the house. Brutal, brutal drag. But I don't know. I don't know why I told that story. That is how I grew up. Yeah, yeah. Farm smells, coat. Okay, I probably have to go in like 5 minutes. Let me skip down. Bro, enough food reviews. I don't care. I'll review as much. Dude, it's my stream. It's my stream. Okay, sinking ship with Jay Dyer, James White, but your lifeboat only has room for one. Which of the two are you rescuing? Jay Dyer, 100%. I feel like I could get along with Jay Dyer. Like, to perfectly honest, I could get along with Jay Dyer. Like, I feel like if Jay Dyer and I hung out, like we could have a good time. James White, no way. No way at all. Voice of Reason posts again. He's continuing on Patreon. Yeah, no, I saw that. Confessing to crimes ones. I hope there is a there's a there's statute of limitations to this. Okay, this is kind of weird. No, I exhilarating to take a lot. That's like a really weird way of putting it. You should get help if that's how you're thinking about it. But no, I mean it's a sort of thing. The reason I like hunting is because I just feel so locked in. You're staying up now, especially now that I'm over the age of 21. 'Cause I mean, I've been out hunting in my hunt club since I was my family's hunt club since I was like 12. I think 12. So it's been over a decade. I went every single season, obviously, multiple times each season, usually. And it's just like you're now that I'm over 21, you're staying up later, drinking beer now, just hanging out, talking. I have my uncles, cousins, dad's there, my brother's there, and you're just hanging out. You're just hanging out, having fun. I stay up late, drinking, wake up, really early in the morning. And, still, even though you just don't have much sleep, you're running on not that much sleep, you're super groggy, you're just like so locked in. You're out there, it's cold, it's freezing, you can't move. You're going through the woods, climbing up into your tree stand, sitting there in the pitch black dark. You're just so locked in, waiting. And then, anytime I see a deer, I just feel, it's like it comes back. Like you have that, your vision sharpens, your hearing is just different in the woods, your vision's different, like all your senses are coming alive. No, it's just it's a very cathartic experience to me. So I really do enjoy being out in the woods hunting. But no, it's not like I derive some sort of pleasure from seeing something die. No, that's like really weird. I definitely no, I don't. You love hunting for sport? Dude, okay. Confession. Sports hunter, especially if you're going to like one of those farms. For those who aren't into hunting, you can either go out into a property that you own and you're shooting like wild animals. You go out to a property you own or public land or something like that, or you go to these like basically like big game farms, and they just like have all of these game animals there, and you just pay for every animal you shoot. And these are basically just like farm animals. And the people that go like that, honestly, if you hunt like that, I have no respect for you. You're just like, you're going out there just shooting a farm animal basically for your own personal pleasure and satisfaction. There's no skill in it. There's no talent. There's no game in it. Like that's not game hunting. Maybe you're like, I go out game hunting. You're actually like hunting in the wild. But when I hear most people say that, they mean that they're like going to these like farms. And I can never respect that. I think that's just, I think that's criminal. I think that should be criminalized. I think people should go to jail for that. But yeah. Ooh, James White and Peter Diamond. Lifeboat only has room for one. Who am I choosing? That's a rough one. I'd just let them. I'd let them both go. I'd go down with the ship. I'm going down with the ship, boys. James White, Peter Diamond. It's been nice knowing you guys. I'm going down with the ship. I'm choosing my end. Okay. I'm in charge of my own destiny at that point. Did your wife tell you that you can't stream? No. Have you ever had to tell your kids to be quiet during stream? No, they're too young for that. Usually I just tell my wife to keep them quiet. Basically the same as a nature photographer. Have you ever went bow hunting? Yes, I have went bow hunting. But the issue is for me is I'm actually red green colorblind, so I have a really difficult time with tracking blood trails. So usually it's like I'm hunting with a rifle or a muzzle loader. I just get a front shoulder shot. I've almost never had a deer go more than 20 yards, 30 yards. But with bow, it's just you got the tracking and stuff, and I just can't see the blood trails that well because of my vision. So, and crossbows are gay. Okay, crossbows are gay. If you use a crossbow and you're a man, you're not a man. You're a woman. That's you're just gay if you use a crossbow. Or unless you're like disabled. I guess unless you're like old or disabled or something, like somebody's grandpa using a crossbow. Okay, that's fine. But if you're just like a man in his prime, you're just in your prime, and you're just like, I want to use a crossbow because it's easier. No, just quit, give up, go home. Okay. Yeah, I'm a criminal. This is true. When do you do a deer hunt? Are you moving at all? Or are you sitting there for 12 hours doing nothing? Well, I mean, I hunt in the woods of the eastern shore of Maryland. So movement hunting is not really a thing there, unless you're doing like a deer drive, which happens in some places in like the lower eastern shore. The type of like move around hunting, like always walking, always moving. That's more like an out west thing, or at least in some of the mountainous parts of the East Coast. So no, I don't sit there and do nothing for 12 hours. Usually, it's only for around three ish, yeah, around 3-ish hours in the morning, around 2.5 hours in the evening, 3 hours in the evening, maybe. So you're only really out there for about 6 hours a day. Middle of the day, you got a bunch of time. You know, you don't get home super late. I mean, no, most people don't stay out there all day. I've done it before because some people say the midday hunt is real, but I've never really had a bunch of success. So might as well not sit out there the whole day freezing your butt off. Can I deny a future Antichrist? You replied, no. Can you explain and add context? I'm confused. Well, the Antichrist comes in the future. I mean, this is just read your catechism. It's right there. It talks about the Antichrist. The fathers very clearly saw that. You know, there is an immediate prophecy in the first century of the Antichrist as Nero, but there's also a future coming of the Antichrist, future iteration. There's some people who are they're known as preterists. Some known as full preterists will say that everything, including like the resurrection of the dead, happened in the past, but Catholics don't believe that. Oh, the cope! Here comes the cope. Crossbows aren't even that much easier, to be honest. Really? Oh, it's not much easier to one, double your range. One, and you're doubling your range, and two, you're adding more power to your shot, and three, you're not having to draw a bow in front of a deer. Okay, so, dude, this is such this crossbow hunter cope. This is why the English used to execute your kind. Okay, the English, they had their longbowmen were based. The French crossbowmen executed every single last one of them. These are cowards. They're cowards. Crossbowmen must go. The ancient hatred of French crossbowmen will always be alive in my heart. I will keep it going. I'll keep it going. Okay, okay. Thank you, Evola. I appreciate the super chat. Okay, I'm not answering that. You're really funny. Yeah, Pope outlawed crossbows. So if you use a crossbow to hunt, you are officially excommunicated from the church. I think it's what Lateran 3 did that. Somebody can fact check me on that. I think it's Lateran 3, maybe Lateran 2, where they had like a big screed against crossbowmen being awful. They're so real for that. Okay. Anyways, I appreciate everything. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope that I made the most out of it and this was enjoyable for you. I had a good time just hanging out. But yeah, that's all that I have for you. And as always, God bless.